And then, of course, they got all the other paid games. Of course, Red Dead Redemption 2. The Division 2 is currently available for $30. I don't know if you're into The Division. Borderlands 3 is $60. And, of course, so they got all kinds of paid titles, of course, that you can pick up. You're not a fan of Just Cause? Yeah, like I mentioned, I picked up Just Cause 2 like maybe a year ago because it looked kind of interesting, and I'm telling you, the game mechanics of, and it was a PC game. I don't play any console games because I don't have any of the consoles. And just trying to play that game with mouse and keyboard was just so, it was really awful. And so I went ahead and picked up Just Cause 4 because it was for free, and I figure, well, I'll go ahead and give it a try, and if I don't like it, then, you know, I don't have to play it. But, so yeah, Just Cause, or Epic Games Launcher. And then, of course, like I mentioned, GOG, they also have a launcher and offer some pretty good titles for free every once in a while. But presently, the only gaming company or studio that I'm aware of is Epic Games, as far as giving away free titles every couple of weeks, and some pretty decent titles. So yeah, let's see, GOG, where's my, so I got a number of titles through GOG. I got 2 of the Witcher games. Oh wow, I guess I do have Mountain Blade. I don't remember picking that up. Maybe I'll have to try Mountain Blade one of these days. Oh, another interesting title you might like, a game called Abduction, is from the makers of Myst, the old Myst game from the mid-1990s. I mean, if you're really into, like, puzzle games and trying to think things through, then you might like this title, Abduction, from GOG. And then, of course, another game launcher that I have is from Ubisoft. But Ubisoft doesn't really, I mean, every once in a rare occasion, Ubisoft will have a free title that, you know, they'll have a game title that they'll give away. But again, like I mentioned, Epic Games is the only current gaming studio that I'm aware of, or company, that gives free titles away as frequently as they do. It's like, again, like every week and a half or 2 weeks, they've got brand new titles of games that they just give away. And then, of course, the other thing you have to keep in mind, you know, a number of these games have expansion packs or DLCs. Oh, do I not have, well, I can't get into it right now. And so, like, when I picked up Just Cause 4, basically when you get the free title, the only thing they're giving away is the standard edition. So, like, if if for some reason Ubisoft was to give away Origins or the Odyssey title for free, the only thing that they would be giving away for free would be like the standard edition. So if you wanted all the extra stuff, all the DLCs and expansion packs and all that, you'd still have to dish out the cash for like the Ultimate Editions and the Gold Editions to get all that extra stuff. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind, that the stuff that they do give away is basically always the standard edition of a title. But still, the fact that they give some of these titles away is pretty amazing. Alright, well, so far my game is fairly stable. And I just downloaded Carl's texture pack. Let's see, what should I do next, I guess? I guess I was working on, this particular mod here. Atmospheres for Heaven and Hell Night patch. When you played Just Cause, what was it about that game that caused you to not be a fan of it? Again, for me, like I mentioned, for me the reason I didn't really enjoy it is because I simply had such a difficult time trying to play the game with mouse and keyboard. I imagine that playing it on console is probably the best way to play a game like that. So I'm guessing this is like the 2K, this is probably the 2K version of these, images. Should probably put that down, 2K textures. Because I'm guessing that's what it means. Checking it out. Yeah, I kind of look forward to playing Amnesia. That's a title I've never played, but it sure seems it's one of those horror titles that a lot of people have enjoyed, and so I kind of look forward to it. Heaven and Hell Night patch. All right. Again, I think this is probably a 2K texture of the same file. You couldn't play it on mouse and keyboard either. Yeah. Are you, do you prefer console gaming? I used to do a little bit of console gaming. My brothers and I had Sega Genesis back in the late 90s, and it was alright. I didn't mind it too much. But I guess for me, I'm more of a PC gamer. Let's see. I probably should put the number in there, I guess. Atmospheres 4. You've got a PlayStation 4, but you do enjoy PC gaming more? Okay. Yeah, I've got a brother who has a Xbox 360 and a PlayStation 3. But he also does PC gaming as well. And he kind of prefers the console gaming, simply because if he's gaming on console, it's the kind of thing where he can sit on his couch and relax and play games that way, as opposed to, sitting at a desk and trying to play games that way, which I can kind of understand. So he kind of prefers the console gaming. Alright, let me see if we can pull this off. Because there's really not a... these files are no longer on the Nexus. So, I really don't have any reference other than what little I remember from when I last used them. Alright, I think it's its own, I think it is its own, I don't think I put it in any other folder, yeah. Atmospheres 4. So, yeah, let's go ahead and grab the data for that. Yep, this doesn't have Atmosphere 4. 2K sky textures. And again, I think that's what that is, but I'm not really sure. Alright. Gosh, you know what? If these are all ESPs, well, but it's got all kinds of meshes and textures and stuff, yeah. I think I'll just add them as separate deals. Yeah, that's one of the things that I also enjoy is modding. It's interesting how common modding has become as far as gaming is concerned. And of course, the Bethesda games have had such a huge push in that direction. It's kind of been certainly for a necessity, though. Even though you can mod so many titles. I mean, I've modded. I did a little bit of modding on the third Witcher game. I know you can mod some of the Subnautica game, even though I've never done that. Let's see, what am I conflicting with? Carl's texture pack, really? You know what? I think I'll let Carl override the snowflakes. Because really, I want atmospheres for... yeah, I think I'll let Carl override that for the snow. I really just want atmospheres for the... for the sky textures, which is really where it comes to life. You created your own wife in Skyrim? Did you upload it to the Nexus at all? And if so, what's the link to it? I'd like to check that out. I've often thought about modding, but or at least creating my own mods, but I don't know. It just takes such an amount of time to do that. And it's the kind of time that I certainly don't have. And but creating my own mods is something that I would like to do at some point. Alright, there we go. It still needs work, huh? On average, how much time would you say that you devote to working on your mod, creating it, and all of that? All right, so that is the 2K for that version. Let's see, I guess I better get the patch. Better do that. I mean, I would imagine it's kind of time consuming. let's see, what are we doing next? Let's, what about Night Sky? Night Sky, then Oblivion, Electrical. You know what? I don't think I should probably do. You know what? I think I'm going to leave those two alone. Actually, I think I'll leave the rest of these alone. I'll wait and see if I need to actually download those and make those a part of. You know what? I forgot about this. The 4 gig. RAM optimization. For some reason, she screams instead of talking, and it took me about 6 months to get to work. So, you're saying it took you 6 months working on your character? But I mean, like, I guess what I was referring to as far as spending time on it, I guess what I was referring to is like, do you work on it every day? Like, do you spend maybe 2 or 3 hours on it on a daily basis, or do you kind of just devote like some time on the weekend, uh, busying yourself? Okay, so because you have a job, it takes you 6 months overall to spend time on it. Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine that it's just really, you really got to be able to stick to it, don't you? And you worked on it on the weekends? Okay. Alright, I guess I need to click on the actual Oblivion executable. And this character, this wife that you're creating in Skyrim, is this your first mod, or have you created other mods for other game titles? Ah, okay, there we go. Fully patched. I forgot about the RAM patcher for the game. Alright, let's see. You know, the other thing I probably should do is I just did the big mod of Carl's texture pack. trying to think what other large mod I should probably do next. Which direction do I want to go here? Animations, armors. I guess I should probably do Mascar's Oblivion overhaul. That's a pretty large mod. I should probably get that one out of the way, especially since it's this early in the game. Let's see, where's it? Overhauls and rebalance. Really painful to work with. Yeah, I suppose. The sword and house mods, have you uploaded those to the Nexus at all? Mascar's Oblivion overhaul. Meshes, sounds, and textures. Okay. That is an ESP file. Gosh, how am I supposed to... Alright, let's see here. I'm pretty sure I've got this stutter remover. Let's see here. Yeah, I've got that installed. Oh wow, you lost those files? Oh man. Okay, this overhauls so much. Darker dungeons, darker nights, fighting capability, animal taming, crafting and gathering, NPCs and dungeons having torches, improved AI, better looking creatures, huh? No files will be replaced by this add-on. It will need OBSC. Yeah, I can imagine you're a pretty uh, that had to be really angering that happened. All of that work and effort, and then you lost it all. Gosh. When you're creating this character for Skyrim, what uh, what tools do you use to create her? Like, do you use any Adobe software, or what kind of things do you use to or do you use any like drawing or graphic software to create her? Extract the files to a temporary location. Well, I mean, these are the files right here. I guess I just put all of this into a data folder and then just copy it over. This is a BSA. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll just make a data folder. Or actually, let me back up here. So I'll just make this the data folder. And we'll just copy it that way, I guess. Alright. So this is going to take a huge amount of time. But I should do it early on in the game because that would be the ideal time to use it. Let's see. While that's doing that, use a Skyrim creation kit and a graphics editor. Okay. So you don't use any other graphical tool, like for creating textures or hair or clothing or anything then? Or like to work with the animation? I guess all of that is included in the creation kit, isn't it? Or maybe the creation kit is simply where you upload and install the created files, I guess. Equipment overhaul. An overhaul of equipment in the game. All armor and clothing is playable. Armor and clothing will no longer hide amulets or rings. Beer at the exit of the sewers has been removed. All factions will now show up on the player's faction list if the player is in them. Wearing armor and clothing named after a faction will now place you in that faction and any sub-factions as long as you're wearing the armor or clothing. Ranks and icons are added. All gems have their value increased. Weapons are no longer dropped when the carrier dies. Transferring multiple items, you'll be asked how many you would like to move. At 2 items rather than 3. You're not that skilled yet, making the hair and the other stuff. Okay. Yeah, I suppose that would take a tremendous amount of extra time and learning curve to do all that stuff, wouldn't it? Enhanced quest role-playing. This is Quest and Adventures. Let's see, what is the requirement? Oh, there's no requirement. It is highly recommended that you download this version instead. Alright. EQR attempts to improve role-playing in Oblivion by making the following changes. Your choices have consequences, giving additional ways to complete vanilla quests. Extra dialogue. Allows the player to permanently refuse a quest. That seems to be the hardest part. Yeah, because then you basically would have to learn other graphical tools and software. And even if you, and even once you were, and even if you were able to pull that off, then you'd have to figure out some way of implementing or installing the files from those graphical softwares into the creation kit so that all those files would function in the game. Which, I mean, people do it all the time, of course. There's all kinds of hair mods and clothing mods and armor mods and animation mods. So, I mean, obviously people are doing it, but I can't even begin to imagine the learning curve and the time it would take to do all of that. The primary focus of this version has been to implement a more peaceful pass through quests. Well, I don't know if I want to do that. Quest enhanced roleplay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. NPC and creature buffer. Let's see, do we want to do that? Yeah, but the ones who make it look so easy are the ones who have probably, they probably spend so much time that they've gone through all of the headache of trial and error, so they know how to use those tools pretty almost effortlessly. I would say probably. All right, this is kind of an interesting mod. NPCs will be more unpredictable with how they defend themselves. They will use underutilized tools such as poisons, potions, scrolls, birth signs. By default, NPCs will get a random vanilla birth sign, 10% for a unique ability, 2% chance for their ghost to come back from the dead and attack you. Yeah, I think I want to get this one. Riot mode makes NPCs very hostile. Alright, I think I'll grab this mod. Alright, what else do we want to consider? Realistic player dialogue overhaul. I mean, I probably should focus on texture and gameplay mods first. Make sure this is last in your load order. this one might work out pretty decently. Rebalanced and unleveled quest gold rewards. Were you playing your Red Dead Redemption 2 game? Were you playing that on console or on the PC? Let's see, did I not download this? Oh, bashed tags. Rebalances, let's see, what are the requirements? Shivering Isles. Rebalances, unlevels, gold rewards for quests to make them less underwhelming and better fit quest circumstances. This might be a worthwhile one. I thought I downloaded it, but I guess I didn't. This file requires the Ori DLC. Is an ESP. Alright. Alright, let's see, what else do we have? Overhaul and rebalance. Rainier's Guard overhaul. I think this is another one I wanted because I think this offers a few female guards in addition to the male guards. Or no, this changes the behavior of the guards. Alright, so yeah, we'll go ahead and install this mod. Oh, what do we have here? BSA, and that must be the ESP. Alright. Chinese and German, huh? Alright, we'll dump the INI files in there and these two in there. Okay, so that's all my overhaul and rebalance stuff. I still gotta install natural environments in my weather mod. Oh yeah, then I got these settlements. Alright, how's my other mod coming along? Yeah, this is a major overhaul mod. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while to get put in place. Remodeled horses. Ah, here we go. Oblivion Content Restoration Project. That might conflict with the one I'm currently downloading now. It'll be a miracle if I can get all these mods to work together. Let's see, restores cut quests, item dialogues, and NPC to the game. Alright, so I have all the required stuff. A small plugin is available which restores one unused response. That requires the Knights of the Nine patch. In the process of making Oblivion, some content fell through the cracks. Some were cut, some were just abandoned, and some simply inaccessible. This mod attempts to restore as much as possible. Alright, so we'll definitely... gosh, this is almost a... I guess I should probably put this one into the overhaul folder. That's kind of what it is. Let's see, what other large scale? What other natural environments? I still have this I have to download. Or, yeah, install. Those are all the ESPs. Alright. So we'll dump all of this. else are we doing? Landscape retexture. What is this ESP? Or no, that's a RAR file. Okay. So I'll probably end up using some of these to overwrite some of Carl's landscape textures. So basically I'm using Carl's texture pack basically as my base for the textures that I'll be eventually be overwriting. Alright, so landscape retexture. Natural environments. And landscape retexture, natural environments. And then the stuff that Oblivion, all the stuff that got cut from the game. I guess I put that in my overhaul thing, didn't I? Yeah, the restoration project. So we got to get those in next. Main menu, movie replacement. I think I've already got the other mod that does that. Although this one's kind of, this one's got some interesting images. I'm surprised there's no video for it. You know, we'll go ahead and just hang on to that one. I'm sure in another playthrough I'd probably like to use it. Let's see, what else? Oh, the Mesh Improvement Project. I definitely need to use this, I think. I guess this is kind of like SMIM for Skyrim. There's the core. Mesh Improvement Project. Alright. I'd rather read it at the website. So yeah, this is basically like, I guess it's like SMIM, where they make the meshes, they remesh a variety of stuff. I don't know that they necessarily, or maybe they fix clipping issues as well, I guess. Before and after. Okay. So it's new meshes, but also new textures. Before and after. Vanilla and the replacer, yeah. Those definitely look noticeably better on the torches. Fixed UV mapping. Old and new. Improved materials, high resolution texture, and a more detailed mesh. Looks like it replaces some missing textures. Alright. So yeah, it looks like this is definitely going to be one that I will want to optional sign textures and optional longer arrows. This is a small patch to make the it compatible with Nico Roshi's longer arrow mod. Well, I don't use that mod, so I probably won't use that folder. So it looks like I'll just use the core and the sign textures. Alright, so I'll make my data folder and dump those in there. And just go with those two. Mesh Improvement Project. I kind of forgot about that. Gosh, you know what? I really should actually dump these in my overhaul folder. They're not really necessarily overhauls per se, some of these. But they do make enough changes and improvements that... So, mesh improvement, natural environment. Let's see, nope, not that one. Landscape retexture. And then I don't know what the fourth one was. Oh, crud. Or maybe I already dumped it in here. Are you seriously kidding me? Oh, for Pete's sake. Alright, landscape retexture. Mesh improvement project and natural environments. Alright, there we go. So basically these three and, oh, the restoration project, that was the other one. Oh gosh. The overhaul mod is done. And it's a green square. Boy, that's amazing. You know what, guys? I'm gonna step away for a moment, but I'll be right back. Take a little bit of an intermission here.